Here. Hello. What's up, y'all? I missed y'all. Hi, IG. I missed y'all. What's up, YouTubers? How we feeling? How y'all doing? Y'all know I had the C word, right? We can't talk about the C word because they're gonna block us down. Y'all know I had the C word. Can y'all believe it? Like I'm that person. Hey, Yolanda. Y'all know I'm going to be showing a whole thing over here on Facebook Live. So click the link in my bio and come on over if you want to see it. It'll be in here in the replay if you want to come in later. But hold on, YouTube. Hold on. I'm coming. Let me see where you at. Let me see. Okay, I gotta find myself. Ain't that the story of our life? We gotta find ourselves. Hold on, let me find myself. Where am I, y'all? Oh, here I am. Hi, there I am. Okay, let me turn myself down. Okay, I turned myself down. Now let me see. I think it's right. Okay, got everybody. What you got? What news? I can't even see your name. Who talking? What's your name? Because you didn't click the thing. I can't see your name. What's your news? Hi, Robin. Hi. Hey, y'all. You on the way, Yolanda? Okay, come on over. Hey, IG. I'm going to be showing the what's it called, y'all? A presentation over in my Facebook Live. So come on over quickly while we just saying hey, because we missed each other. Hey, who got great news? What's the great news? Tell us. What's the great news? We want to know. Okay, Timmy, I see you. I see you over there on YouTube. Thank you. Tell us what's the great. I finally became yay! So you like it, right? You like it. You like the job and everybody treating you right and nice and everything, right? I'm so happy. Y'all, let's give her clap signs. This is our family. She's been rocking with us for a while, y'all. She's been rocking with us. Way to go, Tim. Way to go. Proud of you, mama. Proud of you. I know you're happy. She said, yes, I know you're happy. I'm happy for you. You've been holding in there. You've been doing it, girl. You've been doing it. I know. Can y'all hear me, IG? Hold on. Let me turn y'all up. Okay, y'all, guess what? We talking about, I'll turn it up. I didn't see it. It wasn't turned up. Okay. Hey, Sandra, hey. Yay, Robin said yay. Y'all, I look huge. I lost like 10 pounds. I had the C word. Like I had it for 7 days. So I got it on Friday, right? And I'm gonna stop talking about it because everybody, my daughter was like, Mom, why is you telling everybody? But it was just, you know how you think you're not gonna get it? Y'all probably don't think that. I'm like, I never would have thought that. So I was at a retreat on Friday. This was last Friday. And the guy was talking. It was like 2:30. And I knew it wasn't going to be over to like 6:30. And I'm like, okay. You know how you watching the clock? Like when you at work and you like you're waiting, and I'm like, okay, Kelly, you can make it. But I felt myself just like going down and down. I can't even describe it. It was like I didn't have energy to even. This is what I was doing, y'all. I was like this, watching the man. The man was up here. I was like this. Had my head on the table. That's how I knew something was up, because I just couldn't focus. And then, so I'm watching the thing and I'm like, okay, Kelly, you can make it to 6:30. Because I just think it's rude to walk out on people. I just feel bad. I used to teach fitness, and when people would walk out of my fitness class, I'm like, they didn't like me. You know how we do. But anyway, so I tried my best, but then it was like 4:30 and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had to leave. Thank you. And so I left. I got up and I left, and I prayed all the way home, like, God, please just let me make it home. I can't tell y'all the feeling. Like, I don't have a word to describe how it feels. It was just, I don't have a word. I just felt depleted. But anyway, long story short, y'all, I was in the bed last Friday until this past Friday for 7 days. You know how in your mind you think of all the stuff you got to do, like I need to clean, I need to cook, I need to go get the mail, your body won't, your body, it won't let you. It won't let you. Like, you can't. Like, all these things in my head, I'm like, I need to do this, but I just could not. So the bed had me for 7, no joke, 7 days. And you can still hear it a little bit in my voice. But anyway, as you can tell, because I'm talking, I feel great. So just know, take care of your health, you all, because I don't care. I don't care. You can't do nothing. You cannot do, if you don't hear nothing else I say tonight, IG, y'all hear me too. Nothing without your health. It was so many things in my head like I needed to do, but I physically could not do them. Please, y'all. So I went to Orange Garden. I took a shot of turmeric and ginger. I've been doing that for like a week. That stuff nasty, but it's good for your body. And so now I'm careful about what I put in my mouth, even though I had some chocolates today. But I'm so careful because like all of this matters, y'all. Like all of this matters. Health is wealth. Shara just told us. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Okay, so we're talking about government jobs. So I gave y'all enough time, IG. I gave y'all enough time to come over. And so tonight I want to talk about, we're going to walk through kind of, if you've been thinking about it, because I talked to a lot of people, as y'all know. And I even talked to a lady a couple of days ago, and she currently works for the Social Security. And she was saying, I want to stay in government, but I want to work for a different agency, right? And so, especially because, we a lot of like people attract like people. So y'all like me. We thinking that at this stage in our life that, we want to get somewhere with some type of stability. I know that's a taboo word with everything going on, and they talk about the R word, and I don't like to even put it in the atmosphere. But I know we want to get somewhere, especially at our age and our stage in our career in life, where we feel that security because of the way that we've come up through corporate and the experiences we've had. We still resonate and we have embedded in us this sense of security, and it just makes us feel good. But we all know, right? What other platforms are you? I'm on YouTube, and I tried to get on LinkedIn, Jermica, but they was messing with you, girl. I'm gonna tell you about that. And so we want that sense of stability. So when we think about that, we think about the government and how healthcare is good, and they even some agencies still have pensions and all of that. And so I wanted to talk about it because I get questions about it a lot. So back in 2009-ish, before I even become a career coach and knew anything about the label of a career coach, I've just always been a recruiter. So I helped this guy, right? He always wanted to work for the CDC. And I'm the type of person, and some of y'all already know, because y'all already, work with me or whatever. I think if you're going to work with somebody, you want to get them the best ROI. So I want to get people what they really want. So he always wanted to work for the CDC. It was a dream for him. It was a dream. Like it wasn't going to come true. He was a military vet. He retired from the Army. And then his family, like his dad and his granddad, were all barbers. So he went through school. I didn't even know it was a such thing called master barbers. Did y'all? So he did all of that. But he did it as a result, and maybe some of you all can relate, of just appeasing his family, right? That was the thing. You become a barber and you get a barbershop. So that's what he kind of settled to do. And we all been there. We kind of settled for jobs and things that we want to do. But he really, really wanted to work for the CDC. That was just a lifelong goal. So I'm like, and y'all know me, I'm like, well, why not go for it? Why not go for it? He's like, I'll never get it, da 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 da. So I'm like, let's just apply. Let me show y'all what an application for the CDC look like. When I tell y'all, it's like two of these notebooks like this together. Can y'all see this, IG? No joke. It's like 20 pages, y'all. So I'm like, okay, it took us 2 weeks. And I remember being in the middle of my living room, and he would do like we would go through 2 pages, a day, because it was like writing a thesis. It was just like, we just went through the whole application. So we finally sent it in, and he wanted to work at CDC in Atlanta. So he got an interview, but he didn't get that job, right? A month later, he got a call for a job in Tennessee. 2 weeks later, he got a call for a job in California. And he like, maybe I just relocate because I really want to work for the CDC, but I really want to do it in Atlanta. So as he was preparing himself to relocate, he got a call in Atlanta. Long story short, y'all, he'd been there since 2009. To this day, he's still working at the CDC. So that is my experience. When people say, have you ever worked with anybody? I've had that experience, and I've had, I won't say little experience, but that was major to me, like all the work we had to do. And I'm cutting it short, and I'm telling you about all the interviews and prepping and all of that, but it's a whole world. So tonight, I'm going to go through some of those things that you should be mindful of and aware of when applying to the government, right? I'm going to talk about the differences between how they label it as civilian jobs versus federal and government jobs. So we'll talk through that. And then I'll give you 8 steps, I think I put on here, on getting and landing and how to get your mind right. Now, I can't give you everything, of course, just because of time, but I want you, if you're thinking about it, here's some things to think about. You ready? Y'all ready? All right, here we go. Yolanda said, I'm a government contractor. It's hard to get on. Yes. Y'all see what Yolanda said. She's right. Sandra said, I definitely want to get back into the government. Okay, y'all know I got a presentation, so let me just pull it up. Y'all all right? We all right? We back. We good, right? We are back. I'm so happy to see y'all. Y'all wasn't talking to anybody. I had nobody to talk to. My daughter was mad at me because I caught it. She was just like, I told you to order the da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, see, that ain't how you treat nobody. She was mean to me, y'all. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'll make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, share screen. And then I know it takes a minute, so let me see on YouTube if it's coming up. Okay, government jobs. Y'all can hear me. We good, right? Okay, let's talk about the truth. Let's talk about, I'm going to share with you some of the things that you may or may not know. And okay, it looks like it's showing. So here we go. Let's talk about government jobs. So the first thing I want to talk about is there are nearly 90,000 jobs each year, not counting the military or U.S. Postal Service. So there's 90,000 federal government fills nearly 90,000 jobs each year. Many people believe applying for a federal job is a difficult and complicated process, but it is actually very achievable. I just shared with you a story. It is achievable, right? The search process for federal government jobs can last about 6 to 18 months, which can be lengthy for many people because a lot of people think about how long it's going to take me, right, to get it. I want it now and want that insta feeling, that microwave instant outcome. I didn't let my little girl move up here. See how she moving? Look at that. But most find it is worth the effort and the wait. Federal government jobs include healthcare, vacation and sick time, life insurance, pensions, training, and other benefits. So when you think about a government job, this is what people think about, all of the benefits and the perks that come with working for the government. So I want to talk about some similarities between what Again, they label it as civilian jobs and government jobs, right? So here are some of the similarities, right? Right experience and using the right keywords. So when you think about your resume and the documents that's needed to apply for government jobs, they are very strict when it comes to having the right experience. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And then having the right keywords. The other similarities are highlighting your achievements and or your accomplishments. That's similar to what we do now when it comes to applying for a job, right? You're highlighting all the value and how you can help the employer. The other thing is quantifying your accomplishments using metrics or numbers. Again, we talk about that in here, always quantifying your highlights and quantifying your data. And when I say quantifying, I mean putting a number on it. So that's sharing any time that you've saved, any money that you've been able to generate. So you think time and you think money. When you hear somebody talk about quantifying your results, you want to put a number on it. So when it comes to your resume, your LinkedIn profile, that thing should be loaded with numbers because that is quantifying it. So if you tell somebody, you know what, I work in a call center. Well, to quantify that, you can say, I work for a 500 seat facility where they take 103 calls per hour and they have to answer the calls within 60 seconds. So those are all numbers that's quantifiable. So that's what that means. So we talked about the similarities. Let's talk about the differences between civilian versus government. The amount of information required. I gave you all an example of the guy that I worked with that wanted to apply at the CDC. And I showed you 2 notebooks. The application was 20 pages long. Now, when you think about working for the government, also think about the government has different agencies. So I shared with you the lady I just talked to a couple of days ago. She works for the Social Security Administration, right? This guy I was sharing with you, he worked for the CDC. So you think about government jobs, and then you want to think about what agency do you want to work for? Now, one of the things this lady shared with me, hopefully I'll have her on because she wanted to talk about working together, but she was very clear that she wanted to be in HR, but not within the SSA, the Social Security office, right? So think about the agency, right? And when you think about the agency, it's like when I tell you all to think about what industry is that you want to work in. So you want to think about, if you're thinking about transitioning from manufacturing to healthcare, and you might, because of the stage you are in your career and the stage you are in your life, you may think, well, you know what, let me get into healthcare because healthcare isn't going anywhere. Or maybe you're currently working in higher education and you want to work in tech because you know that tech isn't going anywhere. Think like that when it comes to working in government. What agency, right? What agency would be around, right? When you think about working in the government, where do you want to work? Now, this lady that I spoke to, she said she was capped. Where she was at, there was no growth opportunities in terms of compensation as well as learning. So keep that in mind. The other thing is federal resume is usually longer. There is a difference in resumes, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later. There's a format for resumes when you're applying to the government. There's a format that they like to see. It's not the only format, but there is a format, and it is typically longer. Remember, I showed you what the application looked like. Job announcement or vacancy. So typically we talk about postings or we see a job posting, right? But they just call it, just so you're aware, a job announcement or a job vacancy. And then veterans preference. And we'll talk about that, how they have a preference for veterans when it comes to government opportunities. So we talked about the similarities. We talked about the differences. So now I want to share with you something to think about, the types of federal government jobs. There are 3 categories. Okay, there's 3 categories. Don't worry, this will be a replay. So if you want to watch this and taking notes, you'll have it in here. If you're on Instagram, you can come over and you can check this out as well. So the first one is called competitive service positions. And these are positions subject to civil service laws passed by Congress to ensure that applicants and employees receive fair and equal treatment in the hiring process. Similarly to in the civilian realm, when they talk about the EEOC, right? Equal employment opportunity. So the bulk of the jobs within the government are under the competitive service. And basically what this statement is saying is that we want to, no, not we want to, we are going to treat everybody the same. Now, I will say with the government, one thing I love about them is the fact that everybody, they get the same process. They get the same interview questions. They get the same, hiring process. So that means if you get a call first, every applicant for that role was going to get a call first. It's not going to be come in because we like the way you sound. They go through a process. So this competitive service is the bulk of the category that where all the jobs are. And it basically means don't overthink it and don't overanalyze it. It just basically means that they're going to treat everybody fairly based off of this civil service law. Okay. The other category for federal jobs is called the accepted service. This service is for positions outside the traditional government jobs, which can include positions in the intelligence agencies or authorized agencies. So outside of, this is what they consider, right? Outside of your traditional government jobs, you think about, let's see, what type of CIA agency or any other authorized agencies. And then the final one is the executive level, which is called senior executive service, right? And this is the smallest service, right? You got competitive service, accepted service. This is senior executive service with only about 8,000 members nationwide. Okay. So if you're looking for a category, mainly you're going to be within that competitive service realm. Okay. And I'll get to questions. I can't see them right now, but if you ask me questions, I promise I'll come back. Let's talk a little bit about salary. So we talked about similarities. We talked about differences. Let's talk about how the salaries are. So most federal agencies use the general schedule pay system. We've seen this, right? The GS pay system. And the grades are 5 to 11 are typically, there are some outside ways. And this is something I share, with my clients that are interested, but typically the entry levels are 5 to 11. The grades 5 to 11 are entry level. Grade 12 and 13 are mid-level, and then grades 14 and 15 are senior level. So think about the senior executive services. Remember that category? Those are grades 14 and 15. So I want you to also be mindful that, and we're going to talk about this a little later, although you know these grades now, or if you knew them before, you don't want to apply to a position because you want to say, like Sandra said, I wanted to get back in the government. So she may say, you know what, let me go for a grade 12 or 13. You don't want to apply based on the grade. Okay. You want to apply based off of the requirements of the job. Okay. Even though the grade is showing mid-level, right, and entry level in your mind, because we're so used to corporate salaries and salary bands and all of that. Typically, within the government, you're going to start at the end of the pay schedule anyway. Regardless of the grade, you're going to start at the beginning of that level, right? So you want to go and you want to think about the responsibilities, the requirements of the role. Don't go after the role based on the grade, okay? And we'll talk more about that. So we talked about federal salaries. Now let's talk about what you came here for, right? How do I get a job? Let's go through 8 different points. Y'all ready? We good? Okay, let me make sure y'all good over here. All right. Okay, y'all can't see this. I want y'all to see this. But here's what you do. Here's where all of the jobs are. Okay, regardless of what they say, I don't want anybody in here under the sound of my voice right now, I don't want you paying anybody that tells you there's a hidden government job market or job board. Don't do it. All of the jobs, the bulk of them, I will say, are on usajobs.gov. usajobs.gov. The first thing I want you to do, hear me clearly now. The first thing I want you to do is create an account. They've been doing this a very long time, y'all. Okay. The first thing I want you to do is create an account. Now, I know you can't see this, but if you watch the replay, you can expand this so you can see it. And I want you to go through these 5 tabs. Before you apply to anything, I want you to take a look at these 5 tabs. I broke them down for you. Tab 1 It's just an overview. So this particular job is archives technician, right? This vacancy, the agency is National Archives and Records Administration. And I want you to go through and I want you to read. I want you to get familiar with how they write their job vacancies. It's different, y'all. I want you to read through it. Read through and make sure, oh yeah, I can do this. Now I'll tell y'all a side little secret. I'm not telling y'all to do this, but I have heard that some people say that actually work in the government, they say to take the actual job description and put it on your resume. Now, I'm not telling you to do that, but I do know they're very strict and they want you to have exactly what's on that job description. Now, I think, who was that, Yolanda? She said it's hard to get in. Yolanda, let us know. I can't see you, hun, but let us know what you think about that. And I've heard other people say that, right? I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just saying they're very, very strict. So you got to think differently when it comes to applying for government jobs, right? They want you to have everything on there. Tab number 2 is duties. This cites the major duties and responsibilities of the job. I don't want you thinking that this is just like a job posting on Indeed or LinkedIn or Monster or Career Builder. I want you to read through the job vacancy. Tab number 3 is your qualifications and evaluation. This lists the types of skills and competencies you need to be eligible for the position and how your experience will be evaluated. 2 key words here. And I'm giving y'all the silence so y'all can hear me. Eligible for the position, and you will be evaluated. Tab number 4, benefits and other information. So it highlights the benefits available to you as an employee. And the final tab is how to apply. This lists the required application material. This is a very important tab because just like when I helped that guy with the CDC, we had to go through each of the different criteria on how to apply for this role. First, you write us a whole report on who you are, what you've been doing, da-da-da-da. Second, you apply for the role and you don't miss a field. Third, you take so read every detail. That's why it's an entire tab. You don't see this on Indeed. You don't see this on LinkedIn, Career Builder, Monster. You don't see this. It's an entire tab on how to apply. Don't take it for granted now. So this lists the required application materials and provides instructions on how to submit your application package. That thing said package, y'all. Y'all hear me? Package. Okay. The other thing, so that was number 1, right? You're going to go through all that. I want you to target the right federal jobs. USA Jobs uses your profile information to improve your job search results. So it is better to create an account before searching and also to search while signed into USA Jobs. Now, everybody ain't going to tell y'all that. So while you have it open, this is key. While you have it open, just like I showed you the picture, the screenshot, do your searching. So for me, I'm a recruiter, right? And I start searching for talent acquisition or talent acquisition manager, talent acquisition leader, recruiter, tech recruiter, healthcare recruiter, manufacturing recruiter. It's going to remember. I tell y'all, they've been doing this a long time. It's going to remember my search results. And what's going to happen when you log back in, it's going to start popping up jobs saying, hey, here's a job that's been recommended for you. Here's some. I remember back in the day, it just popped in my head. There was another site. I don't know if it's still out there. It just popped in my head. It was called militaryhire.com. Y'all tell me if that's still out there. Y'all write that one down because I don't have it in here, but I just remembered it. But I do remember when I logged in, it would and it would send me emails. Like there was just a job just posted that falls in your category or whatever. So while you have usajobs.gov open, conduct your search, okay? But the first thing you want to do is create your account first. Do that first because it'll remember you, okay? Because you don't want to just hop on there and start searching and looking for jobs and browsing around. Create an account first. That's key. The third thing, review the vacancy announcement. Remember, it's called an announcement. Read the entire vacancy announcement. I'm going to keep saying that because it's important, because we're accustomed to, most of us, just reading an Indeed posting or a LinkedIn job posting. Read the entire announcement, including, now this is another key, occupational questionnaire before starting your application. You want to go through and you want to read what the heck they're going to be asking you, what they're going to ask you for, right? You want to know, oh, you know what? I don't have my DD-214, or I don't know that I have the credentials that they're looking for, right? Or they're going to ask me to send them a cover letter stating da-da-da. I don't have that. Read everything first so that when you get ready to apply, you have all your documentation. And it's not that you're not going to have it. It may be that you have to, just gather it all together and be prepared. Keep in mind that for each job, there are specific qualifications each applicant must meet. Now, here are the two main criteria. Read the who may apply. So remember, we talked about being eligible. Read that section to determine whether you're eligible to apply for the job. In most cases, if you are not a veteran and have never worked for the federal government before, you should only apply for positions open to U.S. citizens, or some of them call them all sources. But this was that category that I shared with you called competitive service. So it's not that you have to be a veteran to apply, but you want to stay within that category. That's what this is saying. The other one is read the qualification sections to see if you meet the required job qualifications. If you have the requisite experience, you should apply. Although you may qualify for some jobs based on your degrees, the government typically values specific work experience over education. If you have both education and experience, apply based on your experience. I don't think that's much different than how we apply right now. Companies, they put on there required a degree or master's degree or whatever, but they're not going to hire you if you don't have any work experience. And I don't know why they say that, but that's another story. I digress. All right, let's keep going. Now, remember I talked about how I used to get those emails? When you go on there and you create your account, you can set up alerts. Can y'all see that, YouTube, or is that me? Okay, that's me. Set up alerts. So USA Jobs will automatically look for jobs. Remember, I shared that with you, that match your desired criteria. Since some jobs are only posted for a short period, now sometimes they just post them sometimes for 7 days because they get so many applicants. Sometimes I've even seen it where it's just been posted for 3 days. The frequency can make a difference because many job announcements are only available to receive applications for as few as 3 days. It's important that you check USA Jobs on a daily basis so that you do not miss an opportunity. Late applications are not accepted regardless of your reason. I was sick, somebody passed, I couldn't get in, the thing timed out, they don't care. Check it every day so you are on top of it and you can apply and you're ready to go. Given the number of applications received for each posting, federal HR offices are trying to limit the number of applications. Remember the very second slide, I said there are 90,000 jobs. So just multiplying that by 1, that's how many applicants, right? So if you know that you're interested, right, it's something that you want to pursue, set your alerts, go on there every day, pin it to your taskbar, and just check it every day. Check it every day because sometimes they'll go up and they'll come right back down. All right, let's keep going. Now, I wanted to share this with you. I know it looks like a lot, but we're going to walk through it. So you may be required to complete other agency-specific required steps. So I want you to be mindful, even though you're going on usajobs.gov, they're housing all of the opportunities for the various agencies. We talked about the CDC. We talked about the Social Security Administration. So the different agencies, I saw something for NASA. I saw something for Department of Defense. So they house all of the different agencies on this one platform. So although you apply with usajobs.gov, the agency may say, that's cool, that's good, you applied, but now we need for you to write us a 2-page thing telling us da-da-da-da. So it's a whole different world, y'all. Be ready for that. Now, I only say that to level set your expectations, but once you're in, like Yolanda said, it's hard to get in. People want to get in. if you set your mind right and you get in, my niece been working for the government. She been working for the mayor here in Atlanta since she graduated college. The girl is set. She's been promoted like 4 times. She's like 28. You know what I'm saying? So once you get in, you in there. Okay, so the other agency specific requirements. So it may be that you provide more personal information, providing additional documentation like I just shared, answering eligibility questions, right? Completing an occupational questionnaire. Remember, we talked about that. The occupation, and I should have put it on here. This is something I provide also to people that I work with. I give you the types of questions that you'll get on that occupational questionnaire. Look for a preview of the questions under qualifications or required documentation section before you begin so that you can ensure your resume content supports your answers to the questions. I'm going to read that again. Underneath the occupational questionnaire, under the qualifications or required documentation section, before you begin, ensure your resume can speak to those answers to the questions, y'all, okay? The time it takes to apply varies and depends on the job and the agency's requirements. Allow yourself at least an hour, maybe a little longer if you're new to the process. After submitting your application, go back to the application section of your USA Jobs account. Now, this is saying you're on the agency site. Now, go back to the USA Jobs account and verify that your application is indicated as received by the agency. So you can go back to usajobs.gov and it'll say agency received or just the word received, right? The application status field should display received if the application submitted correctly. Note, the agency may take a few hours to update the application status. Sometimes the resume and other documents have to complete a virus scan or similar security check before they show as received on USA Jobs. So let's say you've applied at NASA. You're like, okay, I did it. Let me go to USA Jobs. I would say give it a half a day or something before it updates. Okay. Okay, I know that was a lot, but I wanted to make sure y'all got that. So the other thing is to check to see if you have been referred. Once the job announcement is closed, the hiring agency will review your application. So once it's closed, y'all, then the hiring agency will review the application. Applicants typically will then be placed into qualification categories: qualified, highly qualified, and best qualified. That's similar to the applicant tracking system when you're just applying on Indeed or LinkedIn or something like that. The applicant tracking systems now, they rank you. Remember, we talked about that. If you're in the group, if you scroll down, I did a whole video on that. And I know last week, let me say this while I'm here. Last week, I was out, but I also thought about, I was going to share with y'all behind the scenes of an applicant tracking system because I have a couple applicant tracking systems. And then I was going to show you with y'all behind the scenes, but I decided against it because the privacy laws now typically, and if you scroll back down, we did it last year. So there is one, and I'll leave that one there, but privacy laws and all that, I'm not going to bring that topic back, but I wanted to share with you all, why I didn't. And also I was just thinking about the privacy part. So we don't want to get in any trouble. But my point with bringing up an applicant tracking system is that applicant tracking systems now rank. So when you submit your resume, it'll say Robin is an 85% match. Sanja is a 60% match. It'll say Tivia is a 50% match. Now, that's all. Applicant tracking systems are not created equal. The more robust your applicant tracking system is, the more highly likely that it does rank you. So there's different levels of ATSs, right? So you may see sometimes when you apply, it'll say Workday or Taleo or iSIMS or something like that, right? But as a recruiter, if you're a recruiter, you know these names. But your more robust ones, they will rank you. So this is what this is saying for the government jobs. Applicants are categorized as qualified, highly qualified, or best qualified. When your application has been put into a qualification category, the hiring agency may update your application status to reviewed. Remember, we talked about the agencies, but not all agencies provide this level of detail on the status. Remember, I just talked about the applicant tracking system, how some of them are robust and they rank you. Similarly to the government, not all agencies provide this level of detail on the status. Okay, so just be mindful of that. The hiring agency will then send the highest qualified applicants to the hiring official, and those applicants may see their application status updated to referred. Applicants not being considered further will see a not referred status. So the hiring agency, once you're categorized in a certain qualification, and that qualification is highest qualified, they will refer you then to the agency. Okay? Lots of steps. So the agency will then contact applicants directly to schedule the interviews. This may take some time depending upon the number of applicants. In most cases, there will only be one round of interviews, although more are allowed. Federal interviews are highly structured. All candidates are asked the same questions in the same order, and all interview questions are job related. Remember, we talked about that. Now, the hiring agency will select the qualified candidate and contact him or her to start the job process. Only HR can make an official job offer. HR will offer a salary and grade. Remember, we talked about the different grades? If the job was posted at more than one grade, they will tell you what the grade is. This is negotiable. Some people think that you can't negotiate with the government. You absolutely can. But remember, I shared with you earlier that they typically start at the lowest level of the grade. Okay? But know that you can negotiate, but keep in mind, there's a lot of applicants, and where you won't accept $65,000, somebody else may. You also want to think about, as a side note, what is your goal? You know what, Kelly? I'm going to be retiring in 7 years, or I don't have that long. So I really just want to get in for the benefits. Think about your goal. Everybody's at a different stage, right? In their life, in their career, and your goals are different naturally. So think about your goals. I really want to get in for the benefits. Or, you know what? I really wanted to work for NASA. I really want to get in, and I really want to learn some skills, because my ultimate goal is to work on rockets, because that's where the future is. So I just want to be around it and be in the environment. So think about what your goals are, and this will help you when it comes to the salary and aligning yourself with the right agency as well. Okay? Once a candidate accepts, HR will initiate the security clearance process. This can take an additional 3 to 6 months, depending upon the type of clearance required. The job offer is final only when the background investigation and additional security checks are completed. The hiring agency will contact the candidate directly to determine a start date. Applicants who were not selected will see their application status updated to not selected. And finally, my friends, bottom line on finding a U.S. federal government job. 3 things to remember. Getting a federal job is doable. Okay, the process is long. It is very tedious and meticulous. But 3 things to remember. Applying for jobs which you are qualified. Save yourself the headache. Only apply if you qualify. Use a targeted. So when I work with people, we have a federal style resume, and just patience. Y'all see my little exclamation point right there? Patience, patience, patience. Okay, how we do, y'all? Was that informative? Was that helpful? Y'all know I like to know. Talk to me. How we feeling? That was a lot, y'all. I think that's the longest one we've done. Was that helpful? Did that help anybody? Did I share any good stuff, benefits, Instagram, what y'all think? I know y'all can't see it, but was that helpful? Let me know. Was it helpful? Very. Okay, I'm glad. I want to know. Akila said great. Sure, Miss Shura said very. Okay, I'm glad. I want to make sure that it's useful information. I know it's a lot, you all. And like I said, if this is something you're interested in, definitely let me know. Just drop the word assistance and I will help you. Now, listen, I can't change the government rules, right? The rules are different. So the people that I work with, if you decide, you want help just kind of going through this process, it's like, how we talk about GPS system, just the guidance of it all, because it can be overwhelming. Let me know, just drop the word assistance, and then I'll reach out to you by Facebook Messenger and we'll have a dialogue to make sure it makes sense. for us to hop on a call and see how we can get strategic about working together on like just going through this process. If you want help with that, just drop the word assistance and I'll find your one word comment. And then that's something that I'll reach out to you about. It can be just overwhelming. There's a lot of steps, as you can see. And this is just what time is it? 45 minutes worth of information, right? There are other details in between because it's almost like applying for, y'all ever applied for a grant before or like a federal contract and you got to have everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything right. If you're going to do it, we might as well do it right. Okay. We might as well do it right. So I'm glad you you all thought it was helpful. So will government recruiters contact you via LinkedIn? I won't say no. I will say that I'll tell y'all this. They don't really like going through the process. You already saw what it takes, and that ain't even scratching the surface. Recruiters like to get in and out. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your questions, I'm not going to say no, but it's going to be highly unlikely that you get contacted about a government job through LinkedIn. I'm not saying it doesn't happen and it can't happen, but very highly unlikely. Yeah, Stacy says she wants the government. Yeah, most people do. Like I said, my niece has been, I should have had her on here. I promise y'all, maybe 4 times since she's been working. And she's young, but she's got in there. She's written legislation. She's written different things. Like it's a great opportunity once you're in. So Akila says, I worked for the IRS as a tax examiner when I was in my 20s. That does mean something, Akila? Yes. You know already about working in the government. Yeah, absolutely. Leverage that. Use that experience. You know, if it's something you want to get back into, definitely. Y'all okay? Okay, Raised by Queens. I got you. I'll DM you. If you're on Instagram, y'all can put the word on there. My bad. I don't even giving y'all no love. Hey, Instagram. Just drop the word. I'm silly. Drop the word assistance and I'll hit you back on DM. Okay, Audrey, I'm so glad y'all enjoyed it. I'm so happy. I missed y'all. I'm glad I'm feeling better so I can talk. So yeah, y'all, it's great to you got options. Everybody's hiring. It's just, what are your goals? Always think about, what are my goals? And like Stacy, I think it was Stacy that said, Stacy said, she knows what her goals is. I want the government benefits, right? Know your goals. Remember, that was the second thing I said. I said, be very targeted. Know your target, because everybody has different goals. We're all at different stages, right, in our careers. Some of us want to be at executive level. Some of us just want to, we ain't trying to climb the ladder. We just want to do this thing and get some money and pay bills because gas $5 a gallon, and we just want to get somewhere and just chill out for about 8 more years, 3 more years, 5 more, whatever. We ain't trying to do all that. We just want to, just let me just do my job. Don't bother me. Let me just do my job, right? How many rounds of interviews government positions typically take? I've heard as many as 5, because you think about it, you have a phone call, you have your occupational questionnaire where they send you the questionnaire, and then they want to know, if you're, eligible. That's 2. Then you can have an interview after the phone call, and then a panel interview, and then your final interview. So right there, that's 5 already. Again, it just depends on the agency. Now, I talked about Nassau, y'all, and if somebody reminds me, there is actually a site. What is it called? I think it's called Work in Space. I think it's called workinspace.com. I know I said it and I was just talking, but it's really a thing, working in space, y'all. You're welcome, huh? You're welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome on IG. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up real quick, and I'm gonna tell you. I think it's called workinspace.com. FinancialSecurity.com. Hold on, let me see. But if you're interested, there's a lot of jobs. Now, don't think you got to be real technical. Don't think you got to be spacey and all of that. Think about, you know what? Like Sandra recruits. They need recruiters over in space. It's just like when people say, I'm not techie. I don't want to work in tech. You just want to get in a company that's technical. Because, you know, they pretty much ain't going anywhere. Now, I will say that during Elon, I'm a little mad at him. Because he let all them people. Yeah, it's called Working Space, y'all. I was right. It's called Working Space. I'm going to pull it up and show y'all, okay? Hold on. It's called workinspace.com. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Let me get back to y'all. Let me show you. See, I'm sharing with y'all. I'm sharing this stuff. See right here? Can y'all see it? It ain't come up yet. See, it's called workinspace.com. So are you looking for non-tech space jobs? So y'all open your minds and think, look, it's telling you right here, you can find your next job in space law, in marketing, in design, in business development, in HR, and finance, and other niche space jobs. They have all kinds of jobs, y'all. Y'all see the jobs right here. Recruiting, marketing, commercial, accountant, business analyst, senior finance, director of government relations. Y'all don't sleep. Don't sleep. You want to get into a field, into an industry, into a space that's going to be around. Don't just be out here getting jobs. Strategic is how we think over here. Strategic, right? This is what makes me different. I want y'all to think strategic. We can do the resume. I got you on that. Come up a little higher. Y'all know I say this every time I talk to y'all. Come up a little higher. Let's think to strategic. Where can I go that's going to be sustainable for my goals, for where I want to go in my career, in my life? I want to semi-retire. Maybe I want to be an entrepreneur and start my own business in 3 years. So I just need 3 more years of being somewhere. If we have to go through this recession or whatever about to pop off, where can I go? Think strategic. Don't just be down here thinking about what to put on my resume. You're thinking on a tactical level. I don't want you down here. That's not why you got in this group. And I'm not going to let you just be down here. I'm bringing you up. You're going to think strategically. We got you on the resume. Drop the word assistance. I got you on that. I want you thinking about, okay, let me think. That darn Elon, he said everybody got to return to work. He said that because he knew a lot of people wasn't going to return to work and he don't have to pay them severance. So he counted on people not showing up to work. And guess what he did when they did? He laid off 10% of the workforce. But we know we don't want to work for Elon anyway. We don't want to work for Amazon. Anybody work for Amazon? I'm nothing against y'all because I order from y'all all the time. But the man is nuts. He's nuts. But I think he's got a good business sense. Okay? He's got a good business sense. But y'all hear what I'm saying, okay? How have any of your clients applied to the Federal Reserve? And so what was their experience been there? No, none have applied to the Federal Reserve. That's a great question, though. I was thinking about that agency. That's a good one, though. I can't see y'all name. How many? Okay, I answered that one. I want the government benefits as well. Like Yolanda said, that's right. Stacy and Yolanda talk about the benefits. And most people do. They want the benefits. A lot of employers are doing a lot of layoffs. They are, Tivia. They are doing a lot of layoffs. They are. And I think it's I have my point of view is because of what they're saying in terms of a looming recession. And maybe we should talk about that too. We definitely should. I shouldn't say maybe. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. They're afraid. They're scared. But here's the thing, y'all. Like at the end of the day, all of us have a set of skills, right? All of us have a set of skills. We all know something. And we have to recognize and leverage what we know, regardless if something pop off or the recession or not. How in the world can I make some money with what I know? How can I do that? If all we think about is somebody got to hire me, you got to open your mind. There's too many opportunities out here. I had another client this afternoon at 1:00. She was sharing how she said, Kelly, I even went to what's it called, Upwork. And she said, I put myself out there. And then we're talking about how much she should charge based on, she got 22 years of experience. And I told her, I said, you're going to charge this. There's some agencies that I know of. I said, we're going to get you off of there. We're going to put you over here. And we're going to be able to charge $300 to $500 an hour. So open up your minds and think outside the box, because ultimately what you do when you get a job is you trade your time for money. When you trade your time for money, you should be getting as much of it as you possibly can. That's what I thought about. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to talk about this next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will drop the link. It's just a Zoom thing. It's a Zoom link. It is free. And I'm going to talk about this because the reason why I was able to make money and in as much as I did is because I moved around. And I talked about this before, right? But you're trading your time for money. And my thought was always, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to work for you and make you money, I want the most that I can get for my time. I did a post today and it said, somebody wrote me and said, why are you telling people to move around and job? Because I know they only paying you 2%. That's why. And I know people need money. That's why. My auntie was talking about oxtails with $15. Gas is $5.96. You need money. Quit playing. What are we doing? Come on. Y'all really think, Tivia just said, a lot of people laying off. Y'all think them companies just going to be like, you know what? I know they need to pay their bills. We're not going to let them. No. Think about you. If don't nobody else think about you, you should be thinking about you. If you're going to trade your time that you'll never get back, and all of us, if we ever get and lay on our deathbed, we ain't going to want $1 million. Guess what we going to want? We going to want more time. So right now, this moment, this day, we're thinking about how much our time is worth. We're thinking about that right now. I want you to get off and open your mind and quit and stop thinking about you all make money for employers. Guess what? If you leave because you're so loyal, guess what they're going to do? They're going to post your job in 24 hours. That's what they're going to do. You know how I know? Because I've done it. They're going to post your job in 24 hours. So I want you to start thinking about yourself. You know how they say on the plane, if the plane go down, guess what it say? Put the mask on yourself first before you put it on your baby. Think about you first. Too many times I hear people, I even have clients that say, I couldn't show up to the coaching call because I had to work. I'll be like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my gosh. Ain't that why we're here? You're not thinking about yourself, because I promise you, if that company has to let you go, they're going to let you go. They're going to do it. If you're not thinking about you and you sitting and watching the news and thinking, oh my gosh, a recession. Oh my gosh, gas price is $6. Oh my gosh, it costs $10 for a pack of chicken. Oh my gosh. And you're just sitting there and you're not doing anything. I sometimes I'm just like, and I know it's a mind thing. So I'm not saying that. I know it's a mind thing. I know it because I know how we were, all this was indoctrinated in us. Like, y'all know I talk about stuff like this and I get deep with it. And it's only because what you see when I'm talking to y'all and I can be all out here and not care what people think about me, it's freedom. And you know what freedom is? It's when I decided that my time is the most important thing. You can get money. I promise you that. It's a tree. But we put money on a pedestal. Oh, I'm broke. My bank account says zero. I'm negative. My mortgage is due. My car note, my insurance, and all. You can get money. I promise you, you can get money. The time is what you're not getting back. You can't buy that. That's where the freedom comes in. You get your time. You get the most for your time so that you can ultimately have the freedom. It's not the money that you want. It's the freedom. And I can say it with confidence because I was right where you are. Y'all didn't join this group just to because you ain't got nothing else to do. Y'all want more. And I know you do because you're just like me. So when I share these things, I do many master classes. Y'all know we do this on a regular basis. Y'all know anybody else doing this? We do this on a regular basis. We get down like this on a regular basis. And it's only because I know, and if all of us been in relationships, you know that it starts right here. And I know if I can get this, y'all don't ever really hear me talk about, here's what I want you to do with your resume. I want you to put your action word, and I want you, do y'all. I talk about the things I want you up here because you deserve it, because you are smart. I know you are, because you wouldn't be in here if you wouldn't. You wouldn't be spending this much time here on a Tuesday night, and you didn't work all day. I know you don't have to. I know you want more, and I know you're smart enough to get more. But it's the thinking that, you know what, I better go to work, or you know what, I have somebody said, I ain't gonna say it. It's just I have to go to dinner. I have to go to dinner because with my team, and I'm not able to do. It was something X, Y, and Z, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And it's only because, and I can't be mad because that was me. Y'all know what I'm saying? But I want to tackle 6 inches between your ears because of how we think about these jobs. And we're making money for them. We don't think about us. They want us to stay late. They want us to go above and beyond. We want to be customer obsessed, and they want, and they want, and they want, and they want. What about what you want, what you need for your family, your spouse, your kids, your grandkids, your lifestyle? You want to travel. You want a new home. You want a new car. You want to be able to do what you want to do. But no, let me go and do this. I was that person. I told you about the girl that I work with. She left her son at the daycare. I can't even count. It was so many times. She had to pick him up by 6:45. It was 7:30. It was 7:45. It was 8 o'clock. Just imagine a kid being there from 6 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. You know why she did it? Because she had work to do. You know how many times she was supposed to go to India? And you know how much it costs to go to India? A ticket is $2,500 back then. You know how many times she lost money because they needed her at the job? Y'all know her dad was on her deathbed. She was in my office on the phone. And I'm like, why are you here? She was that dedicated. I just did a YouTube video about this too. I was talking about your identity and your role. She was so invested in that company. And she just knew they was going to make her. She wanted to be a manager so bad. She left her kid, y'all, at the daycare. She lost money several times because she believed they didn't give her crap. They didn't give her nothing, and they never would. I remember the VP walking down the hallway saying, "You're almost there. We're going to give it to you." It's like dangling this carrot, and she believed him. The minute when she said that, I knew. I'm like, she never going to get a management role. They just playing her. And the woman was there for 10 years. When I left, she was still there, still hoping, still praying, and I know everything I'm gonna do. And I'm not lying, y'all. When her mom passed, guess where she was? She was at work. Lost both her parents. That's because they promised her, oh, just continue to work hard. You know what? If you do this and if the budget permits, I heard these conversations. If the budget permits, then we're going to give you that promotion. Like dangling the carrot. She believed him. That woman put me down. She talked about me, and I didn't even tell her. They offered me the job almost 3 times. They wanted me to move to San Francisco. I said no. They wanted her to report to me and 2 other people, and I said no. I had no interest, and she would have been devastated. Devastated. And I never told her. But you know what? I remember being in the office, and she thought she had a friend in, and not our boss, but our boss's boss, this woman. And she would call her thinking, had her cell phone, and she just thought that she had this relationship, but they was using her. They were using her. And I remember sitting in the office with my boss's boss, and she said, Kelly, she said, have you ever heard the saying, keep your enemies close? And I could see it right now in my head. And I remember looking at her, and I just smiled. I knew she was talking about her, the one that I would tell, go get your son. The one that I would say, go on that vacation. The one that I said, why are you here? Your mom is on her deathbed. She would talk about me like a dog. And I ain't trying to make this about me. I don't even care about that. Because she lost a heck of a lot more than I did. But she was so invested, and she believed in that company. She believed in that employer, and she believed in people for years, y'all. So when I tell you to think about yourself, when I tell you that next Thursday at 8 p.m., I'm going to talk about job hopping, and I don't care who talk about me, because I did it. Ain't something I heard. I did it. My comp package when I left was over $200,000. That's because I didn't stay nowhere. I was after my money. I know they didn't care about me. I want my money. If I'm going to spend my time here away from my child, I want my money. All right, I'm done. We good, y'all? Let me see. What did I miss? I'm a veteran teacher. I want out, but I feel trapped by those who can't do and teach. That's right, Vanessa. I get it. I guess. And to Vanessa's point, let me say this last thing while I'm on this soapbox. Let me tell y'all something about a coach. And ain't nobody gonna tell y'all this, but I'm gonna tell y'all because that's just who I am. When you get somebody, Michael Jordan was my favorite. I'm from Illinois. Y'all know that, right? He didn't get them championships until he got Phil Jackson. He had the skills. He had the agility. He had the knowledge. He had the thing. But without the coach, he got 6, y'all. When you finding a coach, when you're looking for a coach, if you don't hear anything else, the level at which a person has knowledge and experience is the level at which they can teach you. If you talk to a recruiter that just got out of school and got 2 years of experience, and you've been in the world and the workforce for 40 something years, you got 50 years of age, and you got 30 something years of experience, they're going to teach you at the level that they know. They're going to give you everything they got, but all they got is 2 years worth of knowledge. For where you are, for the experience that you have, I want you to think about that. Am I saying a junior recruiter can't help you? No. I'm saying for whatever it is, make sure you do your due diligence. If you're going to somebody to help you, to mentor you, to coach you, and Vanessa, see what you done did, make sure they have it's equal. You know where you are, what stage you are in your life. You want somebody that can speak to where you are. You got all this experience, and somebody just coming out of school and they gonna talk about, they excited about their new job and everything. You done been through that. You done been through that. I just wanted to say, let me put that out there. Let me keep going. Stacy said the bottom line is money. That's right. Yolanda said, yes, indeed. Why give employers a 2 weeks? Do they give you that? Yolanda, I'm going to jump through this thing, girl. I'm going to jump through this thing. I'm going to jump. And see, if I say stuff like that, then people be like, oh, I have to give my 2 weeks notice. I have to do. Why? Oh, it's professional. You can't burn any bridge. Okay. Okay. We too loyal to them, y'all. I did it. I'm telling you, I did it. Akila said, I'm in her head. Melissa said it is definitely a mindset. It is a mindset, Melissa. It is. It's definitely a mindset. I'm finding my way out of being afraid and listening to people tell me to apply for a new teaching job just to ensure I have. There you go. It's the difference between uncertainty, or let me take that back, certainty and freedom. Do you want this? All of us, most of us, right? And let me tell y'all this. Let me just be totally transparent. This isn't something that I just, the confidence I have in sharing this with you is because it's something I learned, right? And so what y'all see is passion, right? And it's because now that I'm awakened to it and I can see it so clearly, I want y'all to get it, And I know where I was, and it's where you are. Some of you are. So I know that fear. I get it. So I'm not fussing at you. You know that, right? Y'all know that, right? It's just when my eyes are open now, and I'm like, I gotta tell everybody. I gotta tell everybody. Whoever will listen. I gotta tell everybody. They don't care. And the whole 2-week notice thing, oh my gosh. When I bring that up, people just say, oh my gosh, I have to do, and I have to. Okay, do you think they're going to give you 2-week notice? I didn't see it happen. Where we didn't stay over on the whole weekend, from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, knowing on Monday when people got home, come into the office, we was about to let them go. Oh, I've done it 3 times. One time I had to fly to Kentucky and people were coming in the building. We didn't even let them. We had the gates locked. I'll never forget the scene. I'll never forget it. Back then we was giving pink slips. I'm telling y'all, that's why I can tell y'all, like, do you trust me? Get your money, y'all. And not just about money. Get your skills. Get your skills up, y'all. Get your skills, because it's coming a time where it's not going to be about what's on your resume. They're going to want to know that you got the skills. And the way they're going to know is because you're going to be able to talk about it. Like, I can sit here and talk about recruit. Y'all see I'm going almost 2 hours. I ain't looked at one script. I know my stuff when it comes to recruiting, just like you know your stuff when it comes to being in your industry. I'm telling y'all, it's going to come a time when it's about your skills. If you're a math teacher, you take that math teaching, you turn that into bookkeeping. You take that bookkeeping and you turn that into an accountant. You take that accountant, you turn that into a CPA. You take that CPA, you turn that into a CFO. You take that CFO, and you turn it into corporate taxes. Build those skills, y'all. The more skills you have, the more money you're going to make, the more of an asset you're going to be. When I tell you about strategy, now I'm getting into my client stuff, but when I talk about strategy, this is the things we talk about. Because I'm not setting you up just to get a job. I'm setting you up so that you can be sustainable, and that if something pop off, you're going to remember, you know what? I'm not going to go to Tesla because that man crazy. I'm going to go over here to Uber, even though they got stuff going on. Everybody going to need a ride. I'm going to get in their marketing department, and I'm going to sit my butt down for 3 years, and I'm getting the heck out of here. All right, I'm done. We all right? Y'all know I get going. Y'all know it's been a minute, so I had a lot. Oh my goodness. Melissa said, I must say I'm definitely not that person. I figured out a long time ago, a company does not care anything about you. And don't get me wrong, y'all. There are some good employers out there that take care of their employees. Remember, I talked about, I think a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about wanting to get into LinkedIn, and I wanted to work under Jeff Weiner, and then he stepped down. I'm not saying everybody's bad, but y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. You're allowed to say, keep going. They will, Melissa. They will. I just seen it, y'all. I've just seen it. So when I can talk about this, no script, no nothing, I got stories for days. And I've seen how they do people. I see how I was done. They brought a guy in. They brought a guy in who could not even, and I'm not joking. He didn't know how to, y'all heard me talk, some of y'all, attach a document to an email. They brought him in over us. They didn't want to hire none of us, but they hired this guy off the street. He didn't even know how to do an email. I've seen it done. I know how companies who treat people. I've seen it done several times. I told you about the girl who was a contractor and she just wanted to get out, she wanted to apply for a full-time job. And the temp agency that she was working for wouldn't let them. Man, no, no, you ours. Oh my gosh. No, you ours for a whole year. It was devastating. She was in my office just crying. She said, I've worked here 18 months. They want to hire me, but the company would not let her go, y'all. What that sound like? When I tell y'all, you better do you, and you better think. And I know right now you might say, well, my boss is good, and I like okay. I've seen it. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. What we congratulate? What Melissa do? Congratulations, hon. What I miss? How do you feel about nonprofit jobs? I had the worst experience. You know what, Keela? I keep hearing that about nonprofit jobs. I had a lady, I told you I got a ton of stories. She has such a traumatic experience that, so y'all know I have coaching calls, right? And on the coaching calls, like I pull up, sometimes we walk through resumes. Like she wouldn't show her face. Like her resume had, how you take a black marker and like it had all these black marks because she didn't want nobody to know where she worked. She didn't want nobody to know the dates. She didn't want nobody to know. She was so traumatized from working in this nonprofit. I promise this is my last story. At first, I'm going to be honest. Can I be honest with y'all? Like, I didn't really know the depth of her trauma. And I think I kind of downplayed it, if I'm being honest. And I'm just like, well, that was a past, my attitude towards it was kind of like, you'll get over it type thing. But then as I got to her words matched her actions. Like she didn't want to be on camera. She didn't want to show any of her documents. And I felt a little bad because it's almost like when somebody say they don't feel good and you don't believe them. And I felt bad. Like we still talk to this day. Yeah, I'll just say that, like, it made me think about just some of the trauma that can happen to people. And here's the thing, y'all, a company is run by people. So it's people that's doing this stuff. So Akila, hopefully that answered your questions. It's not all nonprofits. I don't think they pay well, one. And two, I haven't heard good things. Oh, Akila, don't be traumatized. That's a thing though, Akila. It really is. And seek therapy if you can. Or you gone. Okay. Yep, Yolanda. That's exactly what I was thinking. Melissa, yep, y'all know what I was thinking. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go. I've been talking. Glad y'all came and joined me. Hopefully this was helpful, y'all. Again, couple things. If you want assistance, drop the word assistance because y'all know I have to go through the comments. But if I see the word, I'll reach out to you probably tomorrow, okay, on Facebook Messenger and see kind of what your career goals are and if it makes sense for us to hop on a call. And we can dive a little deeper and get like a strategic plan on walking you through step by step. Again, I'm not professing that I can just drop you a job from the government. We got to follow the process. But if you want, sometimes you just want somebody there with you, right? So that's cool. So I'm offering that. Then next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to talk more about, how I was able to make more money each year. We make typically 2 to 3%, based off of our performance review. But I made sure that mine was between 10, 40, 30, 20% each year. I'm going to talk about that next Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm going to drop the link after the call. It's just a Zoom registration. Nothing fancy. Okay? She said, drop me that job. Have you heard of, yes, mandatory overtime. Yolanda, you going to get me telling another story. I'm going to tell this story real quick. There was this guy. He worked at an HVAC place. When I tell y'all that he had a whole case, but because we so loyal and because we're scared, This man had a whole case. They made him work overtime every week, did not pay him, and he was hourly. He was too, I'm like, you have a case. I will tell you exactly where to go. Right? We get you a labor attorney, you got a whole case. Instead, he did quit. But yeah, they had mandatory overtime. Yolanda, they have mandatory overtime. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Y'all be good. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you, appreciate y'all joining me. Bye, YouTubers. Bye, IG. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this. Did y'all enjoy this? I guess y'all enjoyed it. Y'all quiet, IG. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Have a great week. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.